Hello ladies, today we are going to focus on a kind of romantic vintage updo style that I posted some pictures of a while back that I did on myself when I went out on a date with my husband. There is a wonderful little gal on Instagram that would like to try this maybe for a wedding hairstyle, so I wanted to get this video done, especially in time for her wedding in September. So I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can. It's a little bit more of a complicated style, but if you just stick with it, there's no reason why you can't get it in time just like I did. So we're going to get started. What I have done is I've just used my straightener, as usual, to curl my hair in an inward direction. If you're new to these styles, I suggest curling under, rolling them, and pinning them and setting your entire head so you have tighter curls that kind of work with your rolls a lot better. They kind of just spring in there, and if you have time, I recommend doing that for everyone just because the curls are tighter and they work with the styling it better. So we're going to get started. What you need is some hairspray and some bobby pins, lots. I bring my entire jar every time. I like a bristle brush for teasing, hair tie, and I also have brought some fun vintage hair pins to put in the style afterwards to kind of make it have a little bit more of a bride feel. These are hand designed by Rose L'Amour. She makes beautiful vintage headpieces out of completely restored vintage items. So we're going to get started. Now on this style, this curl on, whether you want to be right on the right side or left side, it's up to you, is going to be off center. That's kind of the main thing here. And you don't want it to be, I basically was starting with trying to do a kitten ear, and it just kind of turned into the style. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking more hair. You see how my center of my Betty Bangs are here, but my part's going to be on the side. I'm going to go behind my ear, just like if you were to do a kitten ear. And I'm going to get a good chunk of hair. So it's just basically a good chunk of hair going on there. Alright, I'm going to kind of brush that out, give it a little bit of a tease so it stays in place better. I'm going to give it some spray. I have lots of flyaways, mostly from over teasing my hair every day of my life. So we're going to kind of brush that out. I'm going to have to get really low here so you guys can see this roll. My hair so long. Now, this is why it's important to roll your hair inward, like I've said in my other videos, because the curl is going to naturally go in the direction that you need it to create this roll. If you were to roll it in the other direction, it's going to fight you the entire time. So you just kind of keep rolling it around I use my thumb, and I'm going to try and keep it as tight as I can to the base of my head, like this. I'm rolling it inward, keeping it tight. And then once I get to the bottom here, I'm going to turn it slightly. So roll it inward, turn it slightly, and that's when you're going to pin it. Okay. Now you want to try and keep it tight because you kind of want that real sleek. Alright. I'm going to need probably a lot of pins here. It's a pretty thick roll. I got lots of hair. I'm going to pin this bad boy. Okay, make sure it feels good and secure. Alright. Good and secure. I'm going to kind of put one up in here to stabilize it. And then I'm going to put one back here because I have so much hair. Alright, so once you have that one side set, as you can see, there you go, we're going to work on the second side. Now on this side there's two smaller pin curls, and that's kind of what created that heart image that I showed in the picture of this. This is sticking up a little bit more than I want it to, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a pin down as well. Okay. Now I'm going to just get a little bit of hair right here. Okay. So as you can see, it's kind of a smaller section. Just tiny. And you can see I need to dye my hair. It's just a smaller section. And I'm going to roll this little guy as well around my finger. And as you can see, it just kind of flips its way around there, and that's what's so great about making sure you curl that inward, because it does all the work for you. So I want to keep that tight, and then I'm going to pin this one like that. Now I discovered this style, like I said, trying to do 2 kitten ears because I was in a hurry on my way out, and I just kind of started rolling pieces and doing different rolls in different areas, and you know, I got this really cool style. So as you can see, just play with your hair and you can create your own masterpiece. It's really basically just learning how to get that roll going. Once you get that roll going, then the rest of the styles are pretty easy to master. So now we're going to get the rest. We still don't want too much hair, but I'm going to get the rest right here. And as you can see, it's just kind of a smaller piece. Give it a spray. And then I'm going to roll him as well. He's just going to flip around my finger like he's supposed to because of that curling inward. Alright. And then I'm going to kind of put him in the back. I'm kind of pulling that hair around, and I'm going to place him a little further into the back to kind of cover up where that other curl is, the back of that other curl, because sometimes they're not always too attractive in the back. You got to kind of make a real conscious effort of making sure that the back of your curls are as smooth as you can get them. So I'm just going to kind of bring him around, and oh goodness, he's giving me a hard time. So as you can see, as skilled as some of these hairstyles may look in my photos, I can stand in the mirror for a good amount of time as well, trying to get my curls to do what I want them to do. So don't give up. Just keep manipulating them. You're the boss. Okay, and then we're just going to curl that one in and pin it as well. Okay. Some pins. Then you kind of got some stacked curls. Alrighty. A little bit of a... Okay, so once you have that done, I have all this hair over here. Mine's a little heavy, so I'm going to do another anchor pin. Now, what I did for the back was pretty simple. I just, I'm going to put it up in a ponytail to start, and then I'm going to start taking small pieces out of that ponytail, and I'm going to wrap them around my finger and set them. So you have your big kind of barrel curl up, you have a small one, and then you have another small one right behind that little guy, so it gives it a really good off-center pin curl, but it also gives it some detail in the back. So now I'm going to get all of this. Now you can do this style, and even though it's a more complex style, you know, you can wrap a headscarf around it, or you can make it a more rockabilly look by using a bandana at the end. So I'm kind of doing a higher ponytail. So it's higher because I want my bun to kind of blossom in the back of these bigger curls. So I'm going to put that up. Alright, now here's where your detail comes in. I'm going to take a small piece out, and I'm going to do the same thing like when you curl and set your hair. So I'm curling it around my finger, curled it around my finger, and I'm curling it into my head, and I'm pinning it. Okay, and then I'm going to turn around so you guys can see that a little bit better. So you just kind of have a curl right there. I hope you guys can see that. And you just kind of do that all the way around. You want to kind of create a flower with these curls. So I'm going to turn around so you guys can see. So I have this small piece, and I'm going to just let that curl go around my finger just like I did before, but instead of turning it like you do with a pin curl, I'm just going to curl it all the way to my head and pin it. Just like when you curl your hair and set it at nighttime. And you're just kind of creating a blossom in the back of your hair. So just continue doing that all the way around. Now this is just a choice that you can do. You can do lots of other things. You can do, if you're really talented, you could do kind of like a chignon thing in the back, or it's really up to you on how you want to do the back of your hair. This is just my quick, fancy looking go-to bun that I do with a lot of my styles. I'm going to turn around again so you guys can see. Just taking a piece of that hair, curling it around my finger, slipping my finger out, and continuing to curl that bad boy down to the base, and then I just pin it. So that's what we do. Now this is good as far as if you want to use it as a wedding style, because you have a pretty blossomed bun that you can use to stick the back of your veil comb into and have your veil coming out the back of it. But then when you take your veil off, if you choose, then you can have a pretty little blossom. So once you get all of those set, you're good to go. Just make sure I have so much hair. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. You have your cute little, I'm going to go over here where it's white. You have that cute style, those offset rolls. You got the big kind of dramatic swoop on this side. You have the two more dainty ones on the other side. Now, let's see, as far as a comb, you know, you can do something really beautiful as far as these little headpieces. Now this is by Rose L'Amour. She hand creates all of these with recycled vintage items. She takes apart vintage things that she finds and she creates these beautiful little handmade hair pieces. But they're, as you can see, they're so dainty and cute. They have these great little combs on the back. But you could do this for your, I'm not pushing it in because it'll probably, but as you can see, there's a lot of different choices that you could choose when it comes to putting in clips and stuff. So I've kept you ladies long enough. That's how I did that style. It's a little bit more complex, as you can see. But it's fun and it's beautiful. It's a vintage updo. So if you ladies have any more questions, feel free to email me at theonlyvintagedoll@gmail.com. And for info on some of these beautiful headpieces, it will be listed in the video description underneath the video. So I hope that helped. And as always, keep practicing. I have faith in you.